The next time you use a toilet, you might want to thank Queen Elizabeth I. Trust me, it's not as weird as it sounds. BrainBall Learning presents The Real Poop on the Toilet. Toilets, one of the most underappreciated inventions, have been around for thousands of years. Without them, our lives would look much different and much worse. It's hard to imagine a world without a designated place to do our business, but that was the reality before flush toilets were widely used. While most people would assume flushing toilets are a more modern invention, most people would be, in fact, wrong. Sure, it wasn't that long ago that people were pooping in outhouses, in holes, or the Thames, but rudimentary flush toilets actually existed during ancient times. One such toilet found in Knossos dates back to the 16th century BC and was even connected to a sewer. Before we continue, consider clicking the like button and subscribing. It only takes seconds for you, but it means the world to us. Thanks. John Harington, the godson of Queen Elizabeth I, is often credited with inventing the modern flush toilet, but toilets like his had been available during the Roman Empire. However, after Rome fell, Western Europe essentially resorted to shitting outside again, and all those systems fell into disrepair. Other parts of the world, like East Asia and the Middle East, continued to use toilets, even as Western Europe regressed. Before flush toilets, people had limited options, including chamber pots, garderobes, dreadful closets with holes in the ground, or going outside. Harington wanted to make going to the bathroom a more comfortable experience and make shitting great again. His invention, however, left a lot to be desired. Instead of connecting to a sewer, it had a pipe that went straight down into the lower chamber that had to be emptied by some unlucky soul who, literally, had the crappiest job in town. Moreover, the design meant that the toxic, flammable gases released when urine and poop decompose could come wafting back up, creating potentially deadly situations. Imagine striking a match to light your birthday candles, only to have your house explode due to gathering methane gas. It brings a whole new meaning to the shittiest birthday ever. For this reason, plus the sky-high cost, the toilets didn't catch on, and Harington built just a few models. Now, for some pointless trivia. Have you ever heard a bathroom referred to as the John? That nickname is in honour of John Harington himself. I'm actually not quite sure that counts as an honour, does it? It would take almost 200 years before someone would solve the earlier issues of flush toilets, and it wasn't an engineer, a scientist, or an inventor, but a Scottish watchmaker. In 1775, Alexander Cumming developed and patented the S-trap, a piece of plumbing that attaches to the back of the toilet. This design was so effective that you can still find them in use on some modern toilets 250 years later. Once Cumming patented his design, there was something like a flush toilet renaissance. Tinkering with toilets commenced in earnest, with further improvements coming from plumbers Joseph Brammer and Thomas Tyford, who developed the float and valve system still in use today. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Didn't Thomas Crapper invent the toilet? That was actually a myth, started by a 1969 publication long after Crapper's death in 1910. Crapper was a plumber and sanitation engineer, but his only contribution to our modern bathroom culture was his name. When World War I soldiers saw toilets stamped with Crapper while abroad, they began referring to the facilities by name. The slang stuck, even earning an entry in Cassell's Dictionary of Slang, recording the word crapper as a synonym for a toilet starting in 1921. He truly left his mark on the toilet, and it wasn't the kind that had to be scrubbed away with a brush. Once materials to make toilets became cheaper, they became more common, and the world got much safer. Mortality rates declined, and living spaces became far less literally. Bodily waste deposited into flush toilets went into sewers or septic tanks, which meant it wasn't on the street or in drinking water. According to Kimberly Warsham, a sanitation expert and founder of Flush, Facilitated Learning for Universal Sanitation and Hygiene, yes, this is a real thing, toilets are the key to a thriving, healthy society. They play a crucial role in preventing outbreaks of infectious diseases like cholera and typhoid, which were rampant in urban areas before flush toilets, indoor plumbing, and sewers were invented. Unfortunately, there's a long way to go to ensure that everyone has access to a toilet. 1 in 4 people in the world lacks access to basic toilets, and 1 in 2 lacks access to safely managed toilets where the waste is never put back into the environment untreated. Without toilets, people are sicker and miss both work and school more often, leading to poverty traps and inequality. After thousands of years and continued improvements, toilet tinkering hasn't stopped. There have been some really great projects by organisations in different parts of the world working to build newer, better, more environmentally friendly toilets. There's also been some really neat innovation in integrating fecal waste from the toilets with organic waste, aka food scraps, and treating them to create great agricultural products like fertiliser and animal feed. If you enjoyed this video, check out the true story of the Illinois housewife credited with saving the Apollo 13 mission, and it all started with a cardboard box. The story is unbelievable. Thanks for watching BrainBall Learning.